Welcome into the Extra Point, brought to you by Tompkinson BMW, home of the ultimate driving machine. Coach, tough week. First of all, last week that Friday night game was just a tough one. I think if it weren't for some of the penalties and some of the real bad mistakes, and I could see on the sideline you kind of agreed with me, that could have been a whole different ball game.
Yes, sir. We did some things really well. We weren't consistent enough up front. We'd open up holes and then we wouldn't. But we still played hard, kept going the whole game. It's just, we had a lot of penalties when we didn't need it. And, those are drive killers.
Yeah.
And we stopped them twice on fourth down, and then we get two roughing the passers in a row. Yeah. And give them another set of downs. And, a couple calls could have went our way and things like that. We're just snake bit right now.
Yeah.
It's just,
yeah.
We got to get out of our own way. And, that's with a youthful team and a young team. That's why I just got to keep going over rules and things and listen, you can't do this and just keep teaching.
Yeah, yeah. You hear an awful lot, and we've preached an awful lot. You want these guys to be aggressive. You want them to be, more aggressive than what they've been before. But there is that fine line between being aggressive and then all of a sudden hitting a quarterback after he let go of the ball and taking 2 or 3 steps and running into him, isn't there?
And, both those guys are first-year starters, and, they made mistakes. And, they didn't want to make the mistake that gave the other team a touchdown, just they made a bad choice, and 16, 17-year-old kids, they're going to do that.
Yeah, they really do. It looked like the fumble when Blues, I don't know whether he turned the wrong way or whether the running back went the wrong way, but it looked like there was a little confusion in that backfield, and our guys are still getting used to being under center a little bit, it seems like,
fullback,
too.
And, got excited, and, I called his number, giving him a dive. It worked well all week, and, he had gone the wrong way, and, we just, where it got back on his hip, we couldn't get it.
Yeah.
It just squirted out. So, it was a missed assignment, and, we move on.
One thing that I noticed when we got down around the goal line, I've watched you practice it quite a bit over here, okay? Yeah, you take the quarterback out, basically you go to that big formation that you've been practicing, and man, that thing worked like a charm.
Yeah, what we do is the quarterback's usually just in there to hand the ball off when you're running the ball, and when you get down on the goal line, you need to run it. Yeah. That's when you have to pound it out and get a yard or 2 yards or 3 yards. So we put in our power formation. It was power right, blast right, and we snap the ball to the ball carrier. So we take the quarterback out of the mix, and it gives us an extra person. So, that way we can overload a side.
Yeah, it really did work extremely well. David Rummel and I think was the guy that had the ball at that point in time, and basically goes in as a wildcat type back, and man, that hole opened up, and he just kind of walked into the end zone. So it did exactly what you wanted to do.
Yeah,
and in all sincerity, and I've said this a couple times this week, that ball game, you take away a couple penalties, a couple of mistakes. That's a ball game that you could have had again this week. I mean, so we really have had a couple ball games, even though we've not won one yet, that once you start to get the guys on that level and start to really get them clicking on all cylinders, you got a ball team that really can still win some football games this year.
Yes, I think so. And, we've been competitive in every game. Mm-hmm. Mistakes and penalties and turnovers are the leading tale. The holding penalties get us in third and long, and we're struggling with the pass some. We work it a lot in practice, but we're still struggling with that. And, we're committing penalties on both sides of the ball, and we're turning the ball over. Mm-hmm. We can cut the turnovers out. We had 3 in the first half against Evergreen. We take those out. We take the turnover on our 30 out against Napoleon, and then the one when we were going in. We take those 2 out. Mm-hmm. That could be a difference in a ball game. Those are the things that we keep preaching to kids. We got to have a sense of urgency. We have to have that sense of, it's on the line right now, and every play we have to execute.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Get to the end of the game, 2 minutes to go in the football game, okay? We just score. You got an onside kick coming. Everybody knows what's coming, and the next thing you know, the officials put their hands up. Everybody goes, what the heck's going on? And you got to exit field right to be able to get off of there for the lightning call. I understand the lightning call, but it sure seemed like we could have overlooked one little bolt of lightning, kicked the onside kick, and moved on. But what do you think about that whole thing?
I thought it was a camera flash.
Exactly, yeah.
It's safety always. I came from the lightning capital of the world.
Yeah.
Being in Southwest Florida, so I know lightning, and a couple kids have died down there. So I understand that. It was the rule in Ohio states: if you hear it or if you see it, at night, you can see something 30 miles away.
Sure.
And you can see a flash in the sky that far away. So, you know, was it close? We don't know. It took 30 minutes to get there. When it finally did get there, you know, it could have been done. It could have went either way, you know, so I'm not going to fault those guys. But, you know, when the downpour came, we're down by 11, you know, everything, it just got, you know, the decision was made to call it.
Sure.
You know, you have to take in logistics, getting the teams back, then scraps the JV kids that, you know, there was a lot of things we had to think about, and it was not an easy decision when it was made.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't, but it just seemed like of all the times, man, with just that amount of time left.
Get momentum.
Yeah, you had everything going. You could maybe get that kick going your way. Who knows what's going to happen at that point in time. Yeah, you just couldn't catch one. We'll take a break here on the Extra Point. Come right back to talk about that Swanton game right after this timeout. Coach, it doesn't get any easier this weekend. You're going to be home, but you've got the Swanton Bulldogs coming to town, and I've been watching some film on these guys. They're big. They got a couple wide receivers that are that 6'3" size. There are a lot of seniors. I think I counted 21, 22 seniors on this team. You don't have the history necessarily that we do with these guys, but these are kids who have been together since about 5th grade, okay? This has been their year for the last 7 years, and it finally is their senior year, and it's not going to be an easy Friday night.
Yeah, you know, it's par for the course. I mean, every team we've played up to this point has had a senior-heavy team. Evergreen was senior-heavy, you know, Napoleon, Tiffin, Van Wert. They've all had their best teams they've had in a while. Okay, so we're still going to line up. We're going to game plan. We're going to play football, and we're going to go to win. You know, they are a good football team. You know, we match up in some areas better than others, but, you know, that's why the scheming comes in and things like that. And, you know, we sit there and look for the areas we can be productive on offense and defense.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Quarterback has been around a while. He's got a good arm. He moves pretty well, likes to throw the football, likes to run the football.
Yeah, you know, he's a very good quarterback. One of the better ones we've seen. You know, he throws like the kid from Evergreen, but he's got better feet. So, you know, he's got a good arm, good zip. But, you know, he'll just take it and, you know, on a naked boot and decide to run. And, you know, they've played some teams that they've been able to get up on, and, you know, some struggling teams. And, you know, I don't know if we're much different, but I know that we're probably more physical than the teams that they played. So hopefully that plays into the scenario a little bit.
Yeah, well, they've got a physical front. I mean, a couple of those kids up front are, you know, 6'3", 6'4", 280. Been around for a while. They play both ways, so it's going to be a job on that front line too.
Yeah, you know, we're going to have to try and control the line of scrimmage the best we can. Use some of our stunts and some of our defensive, you know, schemes to get them to miss assignments, do things like that. And, you know, that's why we get in on the board and we play in. And you know, it takes Saturday and Sunday a lot of times until we get something we like. But you know, I feel that we've prepared as best we can, and you know, we're going to give it everything we have. You know, that's the thing. I keep telling the kids that we're fighting for our community, and we want to do well for the community. And you know, we're getting better, and we're making strides. It's just, you know, it hadn't quite all come together yet, and that's what we're trying to do.
These guys, Coach, the one thing that irks me about these guys in Wasion, extra points, they like to spread everybody out, okay? Send them all to both sides and bring them back in, and then spread them back out and bring them back in. I have never even had a problem with that as long as you run something off of it. For the past 3 or 4 years, I've yet to see them actually fake an extra point, and it's always been, I'm an old guy, it's always been one of them things that irks me. Just get down and do your thing and let's play some football. Yeah. That's something that, you have to prepare for, because I did think I saw on film against one of those teams that they actually did fake one this year.
They'll go out and they'll send, you know, 4 out each way and leave the snapper and the holder and the kicker in. And when they do that, you know, you have to prepare for it. What they're trying to do is get you to miss a line and not go out, and then they got an easy 2 points. If you align right each time, 90%, 95% of the time, they'll come back in and kick it.
Yeah.
You know, we just have to be headsy enough, you know, focused enough to see when they do that, go to our right spots, get a line and be ready to play football, and then when they come back in, you know, they'll kick it and, you know, go for the block.
We'll be on our way. Last thing, we'll let you go. It's got to have been a tough week. What's the practices been like this week?
Yeah, practice is normal. You know, we're getting after it. We're going to hit and, you know, get after it, condition, run. You know, we ran for penalties yesterday, and, you know, while we're running, we were yelling, "I will not hold. I will not rough the passer, and I will not commit personal fouls." And you know, just for nothing else, it sounds a little hokey, but it's in their mind now. It's in their mind a little bit when they're doing something and okay, I got to run. We're in a condition anyways. We use that for conditioning.
Sure.
So, to try and hammer it home, we got to play a cleaner game.
Sounds like a deal. All right. Well, I'm going to let you loose with that one, let you get back to practice. Going to be a tough one Friday night, but I'm sure you guys will be ready for it.
Yes, sir.
Very good. That's going to do it for this time. If it's Friday night, it's time for football here on BMU Channel 3.